All across the democratic world, commercial media have a tendency to turn politics into a bit of a game, a horse race within which personality and identity matter more than policy and richness of experience.
I do think that kind of tragedy happening several times in someone's life, it's got to give you, I think, a natural empathy, which I think Biden has with
gives
people.
Gives you a humanity, doesn't it?
A humanity.
A sense of humanity.
And a sense of perspective.
And people love you and support you.
That's Joe. Through all his trials, he's never once forgotten the values or the moral fiber that his parents passed on to him and that made him who he is.
And in part because of the way politics is so often covered, a lot of people disengage. Either because of profound disappointment, having lost hope that change is at all possible, or not necessarily being aware of how it impacts their daily lives and thus feels irrelevant. The thing is, if people feel that way, at least part of the reason is that it's been made to feel like a game. When media don't give proper gravity to the impact of this horse race on people's lives, why would people understand its relevance? Why would poor people in social housing areas engage when every exposure to politics they have is in the form of a rich person talking down to them about the bad choices they make? Or making promises about their standards of living to get their vote. But then when the election comes and goes, see that even if there is a change, it's at most piecemeal. While their bosses just received a tax incentive worth their entire yearly salary. Politics most definitely is no game to me. I grew up to an immigrant single parent in a social housing estate. The state has always loomed large in my life. It literally kept us out of poverty. Its affordable housing meant a safe home. Its affordable education led me on a path to a better life. Were it not for the welfare state, my life and that of many other people I've crossed paths with would look very, very different. For a lot of people right now, things are harder than they should be. There's personal losses, income losses, job losses. COVID-19 is having a detrimental effect on many people's lives, and it's exposing many things about our societies. People are experiencing pay cuts or having to turn to the welfare system for the first time. Unfortunately, the health and welfare systems are not exactly what they used to be. More people than ever are having to find out that the safety net has been neglected and has developed rather massive holes in it. Not by chance, but by design. If you cannot pay your rent or mortgage because you have to stay home legally, your government has failed you. These difficulties are real. That's real stress affecting your mental well-being. That's a real meal your ass is skipping. And that's a real loading bar you are currently seeing because you downgraded your internet connection to be able to afford it. I know, I understand, I've done it. I'm doing it. Except for the bad internet thing, of course, because my internet is always world class and both a geek and a millennial, so And none of this has to be this way. This is the domain of politics. Politics is life and death. There are a lot of people out there who tone police about how we should engage with politics, presenting certain discussions as mere differences of opinion about which everyone should remain civil and friendly. Fuck that. This is real shit. If your beliefs mean any of the following, then we don't just have a difference of opinion, right? Then you are an existential threat to myself and everyone I know and love. If you oppose raising low wages, if you oppose social housing, if you oppose income support, if you oppose more worker, consumer, and renter rights, if you oppose raising healthcare budgets, you're a threat. Everyone, disillusioned or not, must understand that politics isn't a game. The comfortable, and the wealthy are hardly affected by changes in government, so they have the privilege to be dispassionate. But the sick, the poor, the lower middle class can be made or broken by simple, widely supported government actions. Government actions supported by those poor, by those lower middle class themselves. The story of Errol Graham in the UK couldn't happen as easily in Belgium or Germany or France. And that is the result of a political choice. That is the result of people playing, of politicians playing with people's lives.